Guys, hello Facebook, how is everybody? Hello YouTube, very nice to have the pleasure of your company. Welcome to this Friday if you're joining me in real time. Lots of fun things planned, lots of fun fab things. Who has got their kombucha ready? We've got ready to make kombucha cocktails and mocktails and talk about all sorts of fun things. So we're going to kick off with a little bit of beauty. I'm going to be joined by my friend Nena. We've also got some updates on some other beauty offers. Just before we get into all that, just to say that today is the last day if you would like to get your discount on Donna May London and all her fab beauty accessories. Then this is just one of her lovely drawstring bags. She's given us the Liz Loves discount, of course, all one word. Love these. If you haven't seen me do this before, actually I've got some of Nena's products here. You basically just spread it all out like this. Look how beautifully colour coordinated we are today. Put all your makeup gubbins or whatever into the bottom of that, and then you literally just pull it all together, scoop it up into a travel bag. Isn't that great? And actually you may have seen in here too, this would be one. Where's the mask? Yeah, here we go. Look at this. Really pretty. Like that a lot. Anyway, there we go. I know that Lainey, to take it off otherwise you can't hear me, Lainey from my team is manning Facebook today. Hi Lainey, how are you? On Facebook, as always, there will be live links. So anything that I talk about, chat about, podcasts, articles, all of that, it will all be live on Facebook. Instagram, of course, we cannot link. So what we do there is we put up on Instagram Linktree. So that's in my bio. So if you're brand new, and I can see I've got lots of new names coming up, welcome very warmly to my little wellbeing community here. If you're brand new, I do these little broadcasts live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Then they get uploaded onto different platforms, so you can watch them on YouTube, of course, and also Instagram. They save them on what they call IGTV, which is the little square button. If you click on that, then you can just replay endless amounts of them. I know lots and lots of you watch this on catch up, perhaps after work or even the next morning sitting up in bed with a cup of tea. So really welcome. And don't forget that Friday is a really big day here at Earle Wellbeing. I mentioned it on my Instagram earlier on today because just so much happens. We do the Friday 5, which is my podcast. So I recorded that, and you will definitely want to listen to that if you can, because I'm talking all about long COVID on that. So that's a real kind of different topic that's going on, and it's a really good listen. And I'm recording that with Dr. Louise Newson, who is, of course, the menopause doctor, very experienced GP, founder of the menopause charity, menopause specialist, really hormone health expert. And she just sent me a message, actually, just before I went live here, with a screenshot of something that I think had really enraged her, because it was a poor woman who was battling to get proper help from their GP, and she'd had such great results with HRT. It was reducing all her aches and pains, and everything was really going well. And then for whatever reason, i.e. no reason, the GP seemed to want to take her off it. And anyway, she went in with all her data and her resources and everything, and she talked about Dr. Louise Newson. Apparently the GP said to her, "Oh, well, she's not a proper doctor." It's like, hello, this woman is an extremely experienced NHS GP and specialist in this area. I mean, you can't make it up, can you? Anyway, I'm not going to go there because this is going to be a really happy Friday, okay? Really happy Friday. So anyway, so Louise is joining me on my Friday 5 podcast, and it's not just about women, it's about men. Yeah, there's a lot of chat on that between the two of us, where she talks about the role of testosterone in men as well as women, but testosterone and long COVID. So yeah, really interesting. So that will go out later. Also, Friday is the day when we send out our newsletter. I hope everybody who's watching has signed up to that. It's a free resource. My lovely digital team put it together with me during the week, and we think of all the things that might be helpful for the weekend, and we put in new offers and competitions and recipes and just things that we think might make the weekend a bit brighter and a bit more cheerful, and the week ahead, of course, obviously. So if you're on the list, we simply send it to you. That's all we do. We don't ask for anything in return. You don't have to pay for it. We don't sell your data. You know, it's just a very simple, straightforward connection. Here you go. This is some of the stuff that we've been doing. We think you might like it, so please have it if you would like. Some people say it gets stuck in their junk. What a cheek, getting stuck in junk mail. So if you haven't got it and you're signed up, do please check for that. But today I'm really delighted to be joined by the lovely Nana, who is the founder of LBB. Now, those of you who watch me regularly will know that when I do a split screen, I can only split the screen on Instagram. So Facebook and YouTube, I'm so sorry, you're just going to have to listen to Nana, but hopefully I will be able to demonstrate. Oh gosh, I've got to reach across here. Go live with LBB Skincare. If you want to see what Nana looks like, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, then do please take a look at her website. It says we are waiting. It's always a bit nail biting, isn't it? Connecting. Hey, lovely Nana, you're there. How are you, my lovely?
I'm very good.
I'm just, oh yeah, we're all in pink. I'm just going to try and turn my volume up on my phone. Talk to me. Let's see the volume. And you've got your volume up. Oh, I'm a bit booby in this top. I have to be careful when I lean forward.
No, you're looking very good. Looking very good. How are you today?
I'm okay. I had a bit of a really busy morning actually. I've already had some messages on my social media because I was doing a radio morning. So where they patch you through to all these different radio stations. I've been up in the northernmost, almost John O'Groats up in Scotland, in this place called Banff, doing radio up there. And then I've been to Ireland, I've been to Dublin, I've been to Belfast, I've been down to the West Country, I've been across to Essex. I've been on British Forces radio, so beamed all over the world. So yeah, it's been a really busy morning. I'm exhausted.
Listen, I thought I was a good multitasker and you just put me to shame, but good on you, good on you.
How was your morning? What have you been doing?
You joined me. It's so interesting to talk about long COVID because I was listening to Women's Hour on BBC Radio 4 and they were talking about that and it lasted for ages. But anyway, we said happy thoughts today. Happy Friday.
Friday thoughts, totally. And there's a lot that we can do actually. And I didn't listen to that because I was doing my own radio things. But yeah, I will take a listen for sure. Anyway, it's lovely to have you back because when you were first on with me, you were talking about LBB, which stands for Life is Beautiful in Balance, which I totally agree with. And by the way, we do still have your very generous Liz Loves discount, so thank you for that.
Yes.
So if anybody,
thank you to all your followers who shop from us.
well, so hearts all round. So you're still giving us this amazing. Remind us the discount because I don't want to get it wrong.
So it's 15% off everything on our website, and with our products, it's 15. It's very generous.
It's very generous. Thank you.
But yeah, so you can buy all of our products, and I'm sure Liz will talk through. We'll get to them. But
this is what I particularly love. This is the little LBB Discovery Collection, which comes in this cute little bag. So I thought it would be quite nice to talk about this because before we talked about the hydration balm, which I also love. I've got it literally on my dressing table. I'm so thrilled to have got another one here because I've been using it on my cuticles, on my nails. Just while I was sitting doing radio, I was just doing this. Oh, it smells so nice. Tell us what's in it and why it works.
So this is, I say it's like the hardest working balm ever. So it's a blend of really beautiful, nourishing and soothing, like high-performing oils like chia seed, which is rich in omega-3 fatty acid, which especially at this time of the year, you really want to bolster your skin barrier. And then we have in here, and this is what you won't see in most of the balms you see, is hyaluronic acid and ceramides. So you not only have that sealing in of moisture, you also have the sort of locking in, and it gives you that beautiful clumping effect. But what I love is that all of this is in a simple stick, right? You can just go for
anywhere.
The targeted moisture treatment wherever you want.
Keep it in your bag. It's not going to leak. It's not going to spill.
Exactly.
Love it.
Exactly. No double dipping. If you're worried, at this time of the year, we're all really worried about hygiene, right?
Yeah, you're so true.
And we're washing our hands so much more. So what
Yeah,
I
I need
love
it on my
about this
hands.
is versatile. You can use this on your bathroom shelf. I use it as an oil, as part of my massage it into my skin, especially now it's cold, because it's a good time to get an oil into your routine, because there's a lot of, we're sitting in indoors in heated spaces, low humidity, so you really want to help bolster that up. But it continues to work with you, right? You sit at your desk. It goes in your bag. It's versatile. I have it all the time. I use it on my hands.
Yeah, I love it on my hands. I'm actually going to keep this one now that I've got a second one, which I'm thrilled about. Thank you. I'm going to keep this one downstairs. So I'm going to have one on my dressing table, but I am going to keep one downstairs, because if I'm sitting watching TV, we now have a fire, luckily down in the West Country, so I do have a real fire next to the TV in the sitting room, and I can just feel myself dehydrating. It's lovely to sit by a fire or a radiator, isn't it? But actually it's taking all that moisture out of our bodies. I try and drink water, but actually to put moisture back in.
And that's why oils are so good, because what it's doing is really just sealing in and holding onto that moisture for you.
Yeah.
And you know how, I'm sure your followers know how hyaluronic acid works, right? So
tell us about this, because what's really interesting, you're absolutely spot on. If I had a penny for every new beauty brand that sends me a nice little oil balm, there are just so many of them, and they're all lovely, but it's just a lovely mix of oils in a pot or a jar. This is different, because you've combined all those amazing natural oils, which perhaps you'll talk about in a minute, with some of the tech as well. So we've got hyaluronic acid and the ceramides, making this really work hard. So for those who are not familiar with those words for skincare, can you talk us through hyaluronic acid and ceramides and why they're in this?
Yeah, so I will start with ceramides, right? Like, when you think of the natural barrier, the reason I did all of this is I'm now 40, and I was like, there's a lot that our skin actually produces naturally itself. And ceramides and hyaluronic acid are two of such ingredients. But unfortunately, as we get older, we're producing less and less of that. And these are, I won't go too deep, but these are the things that really help plump and give that youthful, supple look to skin that we all recognize as healthy skin, right?
Yeah.
And so I see a lot of oils, and I played around with oils. We spoke about this the last time we were on, and I was like, look, it's interesting. Oils are great, but I wanted a product that is really extra hydrating, And that was where we discovered the hyaluronic acid and ceramides in an anhydrous form. And you'll see most hyaluronic acid serums are sort of water-based. So what we did was combined, that has its benefits, because hyaluronic acid is a humectant. I talked about a raisin. So almost imagine a raisin and a grape. What's happening with your skin? So using hyaluronic acid is like replumping all of that water back into a grape and getting that juicy, plump look to skin, right? That your natural grape has. But anyway, so all of that goodness, but we're pairing it with oils as well. And you know what? Like, at this time of the year, like, those essential fatty acids really help form that protective layer to your skin. And when you actually look, a lot of the issues that we suffer, I say we focus on the essentials, is actually down to dry skin, because once your barrier is compromised, all sorts of havoc happens, right? You have the irritated skin, if you're prone to having rosacea, psoriasis, or eczema, all of those things are exacerbated. So those oils really work to keep you protected. And then we also have the antioxidants in them, right? So let's talk about some of the oils that we have. So I've used really high-performing oils. We have chia seed, which is rich in omega. That's chia seed oil, which a lot of you will recognize. If you follow Liz, you must know what chia seed is.
You've got to know what chia seeds are. Sprinkle onto everything.
Exactly. So that's really high in omega-3, which is an essential fatty acid we don't have, but we need for our skin to look healthy. We have in there beautiful oils like moringa, and moringa I love. That's an Africa oil. Ours comes from West Africa, and it's so beautiful because it's such an underestimated oil. It's rich in vitamin A, which is a form of retinol.
Absolutely.
Well, it's not, but we don't have it in there for retinol. What I have it in there for is that it's a really lightweight oil that just sinks, like your skin almost drinks it up. So you'll see with this balm, it's a balm, but yet it's not heavy, right?
No.
Liz, please.
I love the smell of it. I'm addicted to the smell. Can't stop smelling my fingers.
So for so we have things like moringa, but moringa also, when we come to anti-aging, has a plant growth hormone they're called cytokinins, and this has zeaxanthin. It's really rich in that, so it's also really promoting that collagen and cellular renewal, which we want from skin. So it sounds like a simple product, but it's working so hard. When I say, and what it does, what I like about it is a base product. It's about your skin health, right? So maintaining that general skin health. It's a great product for doing that. And there are others I can talk about, right? Like we have Kahai oil, which comes from Colombia. Not a lot of you hear about it. No. Maybe people are more familiar with rosehip oil as a really beautiful anti-aging oil that's rich in natural vitamin A. But Kahai has, like, I think 3 times more vitamin A and E actually than you would find in rosehip or argan oil, which are also familiar oils. Yeah. So, and that is, so you have that in there, which is working with you. And there are other oils in there that we go into. And some of the smell, I know that you're a big fan of rose. So we have rose wax in there, which is really good for reducing
rose wax. And rose wax is so expensive. Now, tell us what else is in here, because it's not cheap, I know that. LBB Discovery Collection. I've got these little sachets, which I want you to talk about, because I'm not sure what to do with those. And also this lovely thing, Mood Rescue. Mood Rescue. Who needs some mood rescue? I need some mood rescue. Please come rescue my mood, is what I'm saying.
Isn't the name so apt?
Love that smell. Oh my goodness. What am I smelling here?
Okay, Kate, I mean, this is so fantastic. So probably you're smelling something a little herby right now hitting you. Like,
I love it.
The eucalyptus coming through.
Yes, eucalyptus. But it's not medicinal. I've got a slight headache, so I'm going to start rubbing it actually on the back of my neck.
So, Liz, you've just touched on this. So flight mode is blended as like an everyday oil. I say it's that oil that every woman and man should have with them, because it works with you from morning to night. So we have calming oils like lavender, like patchouli, like cedarwood, which absolutely relax and ground you. But we have everyday oils, especially for this time of the year, like immune boosting oils. If you're having a bit of a headache, you're feeling a bit run down, lethargic, we're spending a lot more time indoors these days. So these are oils that really pick you up. Eucalyptus, peppermint. So it's really working with you right through. We have lemon in there. And then we have anti-inflammatory oils in also. So I don't talk about it much, but we have things like marjoram. And marjoram, so one of the ways I love to use it, especially if I've been sitting at my desk all day, is I will just roll it into my palms. Yeah. And just warm it up a little bit.
Okay, this is what Nana's doing, okay.
And, I mean, doesn't that smell gorgeous? I want to see your face when you do it, because I'm already...
Warm it up. Oh, that has just given me such a boost. Such an uplift. What did you say was in here? Marjoram?
So there's marjoram, but how I use it. So there's some left on your palms. So depending on what you're wearing, I get a lot of aches and pains in my lower back. So I just take what's left and just massage it into my lower back. If I need more oil, I'll just roll it there. And then it just gets us moving, you know, like rotates around, because we don't do it enough. And in that moment, so the whole ethos with LBB, life is beautiful in balance. You know this, Liz. I spent many, many years working in the city. I understand what it's like making time for self-care when you feel you don't have not any. So this is about, you know, all of us women who are multitasking, juggling lots of things, creating simple, easy, convenient moments and rituals in our day. You know, A-game does so much for you, right? It's not just in the bathroom sink.
I'm just being asked here that there's a question I can see actually on Facebook saying, can you use it on top of your normal skincare? Where would this fit in? Is it an extra thing, or does it replace something?
So here's how I answer. So it can both streamline your skincare, because it can do your serum, your moisturizer, your face oil in one, but it can also enhance your routine. So if you're using it with your skincare, I would use it after all of your water-based moisturizers. The final step, like during the day, final step to just seal in all of that goodness. If you're using retinol, we have some really beautiful soothing oils that just calm everything down. And then you can, of course, during the day, you go in after that with your SPF. Don't miss that, please.
We don't need it so much down here, unfortunately. I'm in the West Country and it's raining and grey.
Yeah, I still get, so I'm indoors, but I get a lot of light that comes in, like the UV, which one is it? A? Yeah.
Yeah, I hope
That
you're
comes
taking
in
your
from my
vitamin
window.
D. Are you upping your vitamin D, Nana?
I am. I
Good.
actually, right now, I have one of these sprays
Oh yeah,
that
I think they're very
use.
good.
It's really fantastic.
Yeah.
It's really good. So it's vitamin D and K2, right?
K2, yeah, really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So fantastic. Liz, I listen to all your podcasts. So,
You've been paying
you got me
attention.
covered.
Now, tell us about these before we move on to making cocktails, which I'm really desperate to do. Is
Yes.
so these.
Honestly, everybody needs mood rescue flight mode. It's
Okay.
such a beautiful oil.
I totally agree with you. I think it's fab. I love it in this little bag. It's great. And then here, can I open one of these? This says Skin Rescue. It's a face and body cleansing cloth.
Yes.
So
it's I'm going to
nice.
tell you. So first of all, just smell it. I want to see your reaction.
It smells really good. It smells different. It smells quite herby.
Yes. There's a bit of. We also have clary sage.
I love clary sage. Clary sage is so good for your mood.
Yes. So it's a spa-inspired, I'll say, facial meets body cleansing towelette. And this is a product that I really created for all of those moments when there's no sink, there's no shower next to you. You know, these days I'm seeing lots more people. If you're in London, I'm in London. I'm getting on my bike. I'm running to places much more. It's a good way to just refresh yourself.
Yeah.
But with all of our products, it's multitasking. So we have willow bark, which is a plant-based salicylic acid. It has that in here. So we have that to exfoliate.
I was going to say, that's going to exfoliate dead skin cells, isn't it? Willow bark is really good for that.
So it's hard-working skincare that's promoting, but we have in there prebiotics and probiotics, which help sort of protect that microbiome and also calm down.
So this is not a wipe, is it? This is not like a wipe.
It is not at all. And then we have hydrating algae. First, we don't use any alcohol, but we have hydrating algae in here. So
Hydrating algae?
Yes, so that's a marine base. It's Irish
nice.
Moss, but it's really, so it almost works like hyaluronic acid. It really plumps the skin.
Okay.
And the whole point here is that this is an all-in-one product, right?
Lovely. So it's really, really nice. Feels lovely.
But it's a premium. Have you seen the cloth? I also wanted something that was like a washcloth. So I could use it. I'm saying, okay, we're not flying so much these days, but can you imagine on a flight, you really want it? Especially, you know, we can't use sanitizer on our bodies, right? But it's nice that you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick refresh, you know.
But it's
good.
Enough, you know, it's good for your face. And I think it's like my skincare cheat sheet. So if you know anyone who's outdoorsy over the summer, if you're a camper, if you're, especially with Christmas coming up, that's why it's in the bundle. So in the bundle, in the Discovery bundle, you get 3 in there. I sort of say, put one in your purse, put one in your card. You'll really be happy when you need it.
When you need it, absolutely. I mean, I can think of lots of occasions when I wish I'd had this to hand.
Now you do.
Mentioning no names, children. I'm just going to use
fantastic. Let's see what the questions are. I've been so busy talking away.
Okay.
Cloths reusable. So the cloths are made from plant cellulose. We have bamboo, which forms part of this. So it is actually compostable. And you'll see that they come in these individual foil wrapping, because as a brand we're trying to, because we have a lot of wipes, right? A huge part of what goes in is the preservative system, but using these foil cloths we can actually keep our formulas fresh and more effective for longer. So all of those beautiful ingredients that I was describing are working harder for us. And it's conscious, right? You use what you need. You're not opening a pile and then having 1,000 which you must use within a short amount of time. So that's how I say, and I can probably get about 2 uses out of this. So if I'm just using it, if I'm not wearing, if it's not a makeup day, I will use it, I'll fold it up. You can see I have my hairband or rubber band with me, and I just put it back in and fold it in. But it's usually, I mean, it's really not meant, it's not like hugely reusable. You can get 1-2 uses out of this, but that's probably, by the time you've done your face to your body,
keep it hygienic, keep it fresh. Absolutely. But I really love the bundle, and of course there are lots of other things on the LBB website. It's not just these beautiful bundles. You can get individual things, as I say.
Individually, right? So flight mode, they come in these beautiful beautiful green boxes.
Nice.
We have our embossed logo. I love this bit of design. Indulge me.
Product design is always a good thing. No, I've just seen, I'm going to have to answer a few questions. We're going to come on to our cocktails. I hope you'll stay around to join me.
I'm excited about them. Look at my rig. I'm all set up.
Oh, you're all set up for cocktails. Yeah, I've got just out of vision here. I've got my cocktails here, which I'll be bringing in just a sec. But just to answer a few questions from my team here. I did an Instagram live on Wednesday with the amazing Rosie from Sugar Coated, and she is using sugaring, which this is amazing product. It's literally just melting sugar, and it just comes all liquid in a little jar. And this will make you laugh, Nana. I did actually sugar my chin live.
You didn't do that live on TV. The last time I was on with you, you were epilated live on TV.
Was that? It must be something about facial hair removal, you know. Anyway, I thought it would just be, I'd just smooth it on and nothing would happen. But actually, do you know, when I looked at that little strip, I had little whiskery things. So I've been having a very satisfying time with my sugaring. I absolutely love it. If you haven't seen that, and if you're on Facebook,
what's the company called?
It's called Sugar Coated. And she's originally from Tanzania, and she brought the original sugaring over to this country maybe 30 or more years ago with the Body Shop.
That is so interesting you say that, because the first time I experienced sugar waxes was in Nigeria. I'm born in Nigeria, in the north of Nigeria. A friend of mine told me about it, and I was so like, wow.
I love all this natural beauty, because a lot of it has come from cultures and places when, you know, we didn't have big pharmaceutical companies or cosmetic companies, you know, making products and selling us things. So Rosie was saying, you know, using a sugar wax was, or, you know, sugaring, it's like a wax, it's not a wax, it doesn't pull the skin, so it doesn't hurt when you whisk it off. But using techniques like that, or you were saying about the moringa oils that you're using with your West African heritage, it's just so wonderful to bring all these natural materials to life. And in fact, I want to ask you, because we are still in October, and it's Black History Awareness Month, isn't it, in October?
It is. It's Black History Month.
And you've been all over this, because you've been doing talks and, you know, highlighting areas, haven't you, to do with this throughout the whole of the month.
You know this, I'm a geek, so the whole ethos with LBB is absolutely skin, mind and body, because we have to feel well to look well, right? I mean, it's kind of the truth. So we had the last one yesterday, but 7 days of well-being is what I called it, and just exploring different aspects of well-being. I had a hypnotherapist, Robin, come in and talk about decluttering the mind, because actually a lot of the issues that we have come from the stories we tell ourselves. And I'm going to flop now, but on any given day, I can't remember the numbers. I think it was 60,000 thoughts come through our minds on any given day, and about half of them are all lies. So it's that whole, but this is, so when you think about it, really, like, so she introduced the concept called thought work, and which is actually forcing you to critique some of what's going through your mind and those stories you're telling yourself. My husband didn't take out the bin. He doesn't love me. Well, actually, is that true? He just didn't take out the bin. So it was a myriad. We also had Deja, who's like an amazing skincare expert, come to talk about the midlife glow. So all of those changes to the skin, once you start to cross that 30s, 40s, 50s mark, and you're in there and understanding that, and how to actually switch up your skincare routine. We had Lola yesterday, who was talking about makeup and really acing your base was her focus, you know, all those things, primer, foundation, good skincare as the base. But it was such a wonderful, and I thought, look, I'm a Black-owned universal skincare brand. I don't think a lot of people can use their platform in that way. So I thought I would invite it and at least showcase some other wonderful voices who are doing phenomenal things out in the world. So it was quite an interesting session.
Fantastic. Really, well, that's what I love about the community here too. You know, it is very much focused so often on midlife women. It's all about how to have a better second half, perhaps, and to be encouraging, to be supportive, to be positive, to be kind, to be helpful, hopefully, and also I guess as a female entrepreneur myself, to give other female founder-led brands a chance to have some amplification. you know,
And
to
you're
talk
so
about
good
it.
at that, Liz. You
Well,
are.
I love it. I love to share the platform. You know, it's really about that. It's about sharing knowledge and about being generous in every way, and about
Absolutely.
having good times. So now that leads me on
Yes,
to good times. I think we need some music,
absolutely.
which I don't have, of course, but I'm going to see if I can move my little cocktail bar setup.
I might try and do the same. I think I put out some ice that may have melted a little bit, so I might run to get some more if
So
it's
I
not
was
working.
talking earlier in the week about kombucha, which is the fermented tea. You need a SCOBY if you want to make your own
Yes.
kombucha. Super easy. So you can go to LbbWellbeing.com. You can get the Good Gut box, I think it's called, and that's got a SCOBY in it, or you can buy them online. You know, there's lots of places you can get SCOBYs. Or you can get conventionally made, properly made kombucha. This is one of the brands that I love. It's called Mighty Brew. And you can, again, Liz Loves gets you a discount. Or at the moment, I think it's just today is the last day. If you order from Mighty Brew using Liz Loves, you get this one free. It's the winter chai, and that's the one that we're going to use today. So I know lots of you have got your kombuchas at the ready. Okay, so the ones that I've
I
got here
wish this
just...
was like Zoom where we could see other people too.
Oh, I know. We'll have to do a big general one. Actually, hold that thought, because I have got something coming up which you are going to love next month. Okay? Something also
Okay.
drink related. I just throw that out there, but we may well do it bigger on Zoom. But I just wanted to show you the difference, because this is the Sencha. This is the Sencha tea, which is quite pale. And then you can see the colour, you know, compared to the winter chai. So this has got all the lovely spices in it. So I am going to be very good, because I haven't yet had very much to eat, and I'm going to make a mocktail. But of course, feel free to, you know, spice it up a bit with something a bit more potent, shall we say. I'm going to pop some ice in my glass, a bit punchier. And I'm going to make like a kombucha, I guess it's a bit like a mojito, really. So what have you got there? You've got this one as well, have you? Have you got the winter chai?
I don't know. Can you see my table?
It looks very smart.
I know. I feel really organised. It's all out here now. But yes, I'm with you. So I'm going to chop up some lime.
Okay, I'm going to chop up some. I'm going to pop my kombucha in. I'm actually going to put half mine in to start with, then I'm going to top it up with some more. So yeah, you need lots of limes.
Okay.
You could use lemons actually, but I think lime is just a slightly different flavour. So I'm going to shove that in there. Oh, give that a good squeeze. You need to be really quite forceful with limes.
Oh, good. I have one of these things I picked up from M&S. It's just so amazing.
Is that a muddler? Oh, it's a
Years
lime
ago.
squeezer. Very nice.
Yes. It's so good.
Actually, I'm very glad to have your little towelette here. That's going to be a very useful cocktail accessory. And then the other thing, of course, that you need lots of is lots of mint. So lime and mint is a really good mocktail. So this, I've just washed this. So I'm actually going to just tear this up into little pieces. And of course you can have, like, I think they call them cocktail muddlers, don't they? Which is the little wooden, almost like a pestle and mortar. Have you got one?
Liz?
Like that? Yes, of course you've got one.
Okay, Liz knows that I don't play with my drinks.
We have had some nice drinks together, haven't we, Nana? Now look, look at that. That is looking pretty good, okay? And then if you want to, now I don't necessarily do this, but I know a lot of people like to do it with a mojito. You know, particularly if you're not using the winter chai there, which is naturally quite sweet, is to add in a little bit of sweetener. Now you can use agave syrup, that's a traditional one, a little bit of runny honey, a little bit of sugar syrup maybe. I actually don't particularly like adding...
How much mint am I supposed to put in?
Well, I put in 3 large leaves in my glass.
Okay.
And I tear them up. So my hands smell really wonderfully minty. Oh, it smells so good.
Blend it up, but I have a muddler, so it will help open up those oils. It's the wonderful oils, right?
So I've got those all together. Now, if you wanted at that stage, of course, you could throw in a little splash of vodka, maybe a little bit of gin. And I'm going to top mine up with a little bit more of the winter chai. So this one, I really like it because it has got ginger and cinnamon and clove.
Don't start without me.
Are you squeezing your limes, Nana? Is that what's going on?
I'm now just topping up with the kombucha. I can't wait.
Oh, that is good. That is zingy. I tell you, the fresh lime combined with those winter spices, the warming spices. Cheers, darling.
Oh, wow.
Good health.
It smells magical too, because you can really pick up. It's really spicy. It's like mulled wine, but it isn't cold.
Yeah. It's like a really kind of grown up. So I'm going to drink this afternoon, and maybe this evening I might remake it just with a little weeny splash of something, just because it's Friday.
So I just added some of the agave because I think it needs a little bit. Mine's a bit forward.
Okay, maybe you put more lime in it, I guess. I quite like it. I quite like that
so
sharpness.
Yummy. It's so good. It's so refreshing.
Good, isn't it? It's good. It's good. This was a question here saying from Cheryl on Facebook saying, "What do I look for on the label when buying bottled kombucha?" So I think you need to make sure that it says it's authentically fermented and that it's live and it's non-pasteurized, so that you keep those beneficial goodness. It's about like buying yogurt. I talked about this before. You know, when they make yogurt, they use the probiotic bacteria and they ferment it and they make this lovely yogurt. And then if it's commercial industrial yogurt, they pasteurize it, which then kills off all the bugs that you want. So, you know, you've got to, like on yogurt labels, it's got to say live. You know, the same with kombucha. You really want to be having it. I mean, this says raw with live cultures, so you know that you're getting the real deal. And also you can see it.
From them.
Yeah, I mean, if you can probably see the kind of the cloudiness there. I know it's hard to see if you're buying it in a tin, which is why maybe glass is better. Can you see that? You know, that cloudiness, you actually want that. You want that kind of the bits of the real kombucha that's fermenting and growing. And you want it to fizz. You know, I think you saw when I took the top off. I'll do it with this one. Yeah, it fizzes.
And this is so
you know,
good
you can
for
see
our
all
gut,
of that.
right?
It's really good for our gut. I mean, it's hard to quantify it because there have been no randomised controlled trials on all the different types of kombucha. But we know that it has the beneficial bacteria that help support the gut. And also the other thing is it's very low in sugar compared to the tins of fizzy drinks that we get. And my kids will actually drink this. They'll especially drink these flavoured ones. So rather than having a tin of fizzy pop, which I won't name any brands, but you know who I'm talking about, get them to drink this as well because it's lower sugar and you know that it's putting some good gut bugs back into your body at the same time.
Well, thank you for putting me onto this.
Darling, I'm going to love you and leave you because I've got some housekeeping notices to read, but thank you for being with me today, and especially thank you for our discount. We love it and we're really thrilled, and I hope that
you get the bundle.
the bundle, we love the bundle, always love a bundle. Thank you, Nana. Hope to see you in real life very soon. Take care.
Thanks for having me.
Lots of love.
Bye.
Bye. Now, I have to just be very careful, of course, not to remove everybody. Hopefully we are still there. Yes, excellent. Yeah, so if you've got your kombucha, I'm just seeing some chat going on Facebook here. You know, let's mix it up a bit. Let's be a bit more experimental. So say you've got your own kombucha, you've been brewing it, and really easy for anybody that hasn't started it before. Lots you can find out. Head to Earle Wellbeing. I've got videos on it. I've got YouTube, how to make your own scobies and all of that. It takes about 10 days to brew. And then you've got this liquid that looks a bit like this. It's sort of usually that kind of colour because you've made it with black tea. And then you can flavour it. And there are all sorts of different ways you can flavour it. You can add in spices, you can add in, you know, fresh juices. But I think using it as a little bit more inventive. And for me, if, you know, in the old days when we used to actually see people and, you know, go out to supper or whatever, I would always try and start the evening with a non-alcoholic something, just because otherwise I find that having alcohol on an empty stomach is never a good thing. So I always try and have actually eaten something before I have a first sip of, you know, glass of wine or something like that. But actually, you know, water and stuff is boring, and things like elderflower cordials are very high in sugar. So, you know, I would take to drinking like soda water with lemon, or, you know, just trying to make it a bit more interesting, or cucumber water, but actually it's still a bit dull. So drinking something like kombucha is just great. It's a win-win, isn't it? Because it's cheap, it's easy, it's really healthy, and it's, you know, cutting down the alcohol, it's rehydrating the body, all of that good stuff. Anyway, before I go, I just wanted to say another big thank you to Life Armour. Life Armour is also a nutrition brand that Liz loves for sure, and we still have their offer code, Liz loves, on all the Life Armour range. And I was just actually, before I went live, using their drops of immunity, really important. And I just wanted to say thank you, because they have given us a really generous subscription gift worth £30 if you subscribe to the magazine. So it's really so much appreciated. And I know so many of you are loving the Life Armour range, the drops of balance for anxiety and stress, the drops of slumber to help us sleep. And I just wanted to read out something from them, because Mariska, who is one of the founders of Life Armour, she is also making a donation to breast cancer research charities this month when you use Liz Loves as the code. So it's a real kind of community thing going on here. And this is really not just because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but she has a personal connection with this, because the brand Life Armour was actually started by two women, and one of whom very sadly died last year from breast cancer. So I asked her about this, and she said, Alex and I worked together since 2007, and our relationship was much more than work colleagues. She was one of my closest friends and was a key part of developing the brand at the start of last year, whilst she was also battling secondary triple negative breast cancer. Life Armour was a way for her to escape and feel like the old Alex, a chance to step away from the all-consuming world of cancer and all that it entails. She saw us launch, which gave her so much joy, and then passed away at the end of October last year. And I strive every day to continue to make this a brand that she would be proud of. Isn't that amazing? So lovely words, Mariska, and really happy to share. And I think that's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, when I try and introduce you to new female founders and smaller brands who are doing things well, it's all about trying to do things that we'd be proud of in every aspect of our lives, whether that's how we behave, how we talk to other people, how we respond to things. And of course, if we're fortunate enough to be working in the business world, creating brands and opportunities and products for other people, making things that other people enjoy and love and want to share and celebrate. And that's what it's all about. So on that positive note, I leave you with lots and lots of happy vibes. Don't forget, there's loads going on Earle Wellbeing. Today especially, you've got the Friday 5 podcast coming up any moment. You've got your newsletter, which will be winging its way into your inbox. If you haven't yet subscribed, get on the list. I think Amy presses that button at about 5 to 4. So as long as you're on the list by then you'll get your copy for this week. Lots happening on social media as well. So I hope you'll join me on Instagram and Facebook and all the usual channels. Until then, sending you lots and lots of love. Really, thank you for all your wonderful community and companionship here. It's just so lovely to see everybody and to be able to chat from this little corner of the West Country. So go well, take care, bye-bye. And I'll say bye-bye to you too.